6.4, proportional and non-proportional relationships. A proportional relationship. A proportional relationship is any relationship where the quantities all have a constant ratio. The most common way that we find that constant ratio is by doing y over x, because we're going to be looking at relationships where we have x and y values. So if we put the y over x, we should find that they have a constant ratio. Okay? An example would be if I have my x and my y's, and if I have x equals 2 and y equals 8, if I have x equals 3 and y equals 12, if I have x equals 5 and y equals 20, if I have x equals 10 and y equals 40, x equals 11 and y equals 44. Okay, and the way that I find if this has a constant ratio is I do y over x. So 8 over 2, 12 over 3, 20 over 5, 40 over 10, 44 over 11. And as what I do is I can either just divide them on my calculator. Sometimes they come out evenly. So here I get 4, 4, 4, 4, and 4. So 4 is my constant ratio, and I see that they all share the same one, which makes it a proportional relationship. And therefore a non-proportional relationship is just the opposite. It is a relationship where the quantities do not have a constant ratio. Some of them may have a constant ratio, but all of the quantities do not have a constant ratio in a non-proportional relationship. So an example would be, again, x and y values. So we'll use 2, 3, 5. We'll use the same ones we did last time, 10 and 11. So let's say that if x is 2, y equals 10. If x is 3, y equals 8. If x is 5, y equals 4. If x is 10, y equals is negative 6. And if x is 11, then y is negative 8. So if I look and I say, okay, so here y over x, 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 and I do my calculator, 10 divided by 2 is 5, 8 divided by 3, well, I know that that's not 5, but I'm going to get 2 and 2/3, and so I see that they have a different ratio, so it is a non-proportional relationship. Okay? When I talk about that constant of proportionality, I am looking at that value of y over x. That constant of proportionality is also the constant ratio. It obviously only occurs in a proportional relationship. Okay? We call that constant of proportionality, the variable that's used for it is k. And when we write an equation to show the relationship between x and y, we use the equation y equals kx, and this is our constant of proportionality, is how we find that value. So let's look at an example. I have coffee and the cost, and so I want to know, is the amount of coffee proportional to the cost of the coffee, how much I have to pay for it? And so I'm going to do y over x. So in a chart like this, we always assume the top is x and the bottom is y. So I say 3 over 1, 6 over 2, 12 over 4, 21 over 7. This gives me 3, 3, 3, 3. So is it proportional? Yes. Or is it proportional or non-proportional? It is proportional. And then I need to write the equation using that constant of proportionality. And so I just use my equation, y equals kx. And this k is where I'm going to plug in my constant of proportionality. And this number that I found right here is my constant ratio, or my constant of proportionality. So my equation is y equals 3x.